Hey guys, it's Nick here with Fulks Custom Cranks. Wanted to try something new, trying out a video deal. We're going to do this every week, see if we can get you guys some cool updates about the business and everything going on. Talk about baits every week, all that good stuff since shows are over. I'm home now from shows, doing some fishing, of course, but want to just be able to contact you guys a little bit easier. We're going to put this on YouTube, all that good stuff. So a little bit about us. I'm Nick, of course, Nick Fulks. I run Fulks Custom Cranks. Behind the camera there is my buddy Mason. We've been friends since elementary school, so 4 or 5 years old, and now we're 27 now. So been together a while. So good buddy of mine. He's very good with computers and technology and all that stuff. I'm not anymore, so he's going to help me with all the editing and all that good stuff. So Mason, if you want to chime in and introduce
Hey,
yourself.
it's good to talk to everybody. Just really glad to be helping Nick out with Folks Custom Cranks. We're going to be making this podcast a regular thing to stay in touch with the audience and to showcase some new bait colors and the new happenings in the bait world, the Folks Custom Cranks world. So just glad to be a part of it and looking forward to meeting some folks. And I hope you enjoy the podcast and this new content that's coming out.
Heck yeah, that's what we want to do. We just try to be easier to reach out to you guys. So we'll go ahead and start talking about Folks Custom Cranks. Of course, you guys know we've been home for about a month now fishing, but we were traveling for 3 months beforehand doing our fishing show tour, if you call it. We're on the road every week, going everywhere. So that's pretty fun. We get to, talk to a lot of customers in person, everything. It's really fun. I get feedback, of course, throughout the winter, on stuff that we do. And this is kind of a cool way of reaching out to you guys during the summer, spring, fall, when I'm painting baits for next year already. It's crazy to think about. I'm already thinking about next year already. But yeah, just we want to reach out to you guys. It's a cool way to do this. We started in January. Let's see, Raleigh, Richmond, East Tennessee, Columbus, Cartersville, Georgia, Indiana, South Carolina. That was a great time this year. We were there. First show ever with the NOE Outdoor Show. That was a really fun time. That was our last show this year. We didn't do the Classic. We didn't do the Red Crest. Going to change that next year, of course. We're going to be at the Classic in Knoxville. It's going to be a great time. So got to send that check in. That's not a fun check to send in, of course, because you got to pay that money up front. But all in all, it'll be about a $10,000 trip. So if you're in the area, hopefully come check us out there. But that's next year. We got a while to think about that. So on to this year. Of course, we're starting this. Something cool in the works we'll talk about later in the video as well. With another company I'm starting on the side to partner with Folks Custom Cranks and all that. So we'll get into the information, of course. I'm 27 now. Been painting since I was 13-ish, somewhere around there. It's all a blur at this point, high school, college, all that. So sold the Xbox, sold all my stuff besides my computer, all my video games and all that, just because I was getting tired of it. When you're 13, I don't know. It's either you're getting into something or you're going to get out of it. Sold all that, bought an airbrush, bought a compressor, bought some paint, bought all the materials for that. Because we live in Pennsylvania, of course. You can fish in March sometimes. Just depends on the weather. This year, our March, we had like 2 good weeks and then 2 kind of crappy weeks that's led into April for fishing. So the weather just plays a whole thing on when the season starts for us. But anyways, you're quitting fishing usually around Thanksgiving. You got family stuff coming up, and of course, Christmas, and then in the winter when everything freezes over. So pretty much, I was bored. I was bugging my parents for 4 or 5 months, like, hey, I want to go fishing. Obviously, I can't. Whatever. Started painting baits. Found out, I think, when I was painting baits, I'm actually colorblind, which is kind of funny. Just red-green colorblind. So it's not the end of the world. It's not black and white, but I know I've talked to a lot of people at fishing shows and such that are also red-green colorblind, which is, I think, the most popular. It's weird. You can see colors. You can see every color. Like my walls here in the paint room are bright lime green. I can tell that's lime green, my logo color, of course. But if you put that green next to like a yellow, everything just turns one color. It'll either be all green or all yellow. It's like the colors don't work next to each other, which is a little bit of a challenge when you're painting baits. But I label all my colors in bottles, everything, so we could figure that out. But so started doing that. Stole some stuff online, some local fishing shows a year or 2 maybe after I started that in high school. Was like, hey, this is a good way to, I can sell stuff. I get my name out there. You guys get a good bait. I can buy some fishing stuff, of course, because that's really what all fishermen want. We just want to put gas in the boat, put gas in the truck, and go have fun. was able to do that through high school. Built up the company a little bit. Started getting serious more towards the end of high school, leading into college. Since I knew I wanted to go to college. Think about junior senior year 2016ish is when I started doing like shows on the road, skipping class, which my mom wasn't a fan of that. But back in the day, we skip class, skip Friday, Thursday every once in a while. It wasn't too bad. So started growing the company that way. Did it through college, of course. Through college, I thankfully commuted to a school that was about 45-minute drive, so I could run my business, airbrushing lures in a dorm room, and with clear coat and everything, that's probably not going to work out. Mason, my buddy, as well, commuted to college, so thankfully we live in an area where there's some colleges that are decent. That's not too bad. I went to Cal U, now called Penn West, and he can tell you about where he went.
I commuted to a small school in Washington and Jefferson College. I'm an environmental studies background, so very interested in aquatic life and keeping our outdoors clean, so we can have our recreators and outdoorsmen continue to have fun on our waterways. And yeah, it was a great time. Similarly with Nick, it's a nearby school. Thankfully, we don't live out west where things are really spaced out. We got a lot of good historic schools that we decided to go to, so we saved on money just commuting. Absolutely. Driving back and forth. Not too bad. Got an education out of it, and I was able to graduate. Both of us graduated on time and got our degrees, and now we're both working. So yeah, it was definitely a good choice to commute. And also, too, around here in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of good waterways to fish in.
Absolutely.
Lake Erie's just a football throw away from where we are, and there's a lot of great ponds. I remember fishing on some good local ponds, getting some big bass, using bait casters and all that. So it's been a great time. It's been a great adventure so far, and we're just glad to keep the brand going and keep the love for the outdoors going.
Absolutely. I'll be heading to Erie next week. Hopefully we're going to post this on Sunday, maybe Monday. Happy Easter, everyone, of course. We're filming this the night before Easter. We both just got done with some family stuff, had a little break, and wanted to try recording this, at some point to see what we can do with it. And looks pretty good so far. Mason's been great with everything, so happy with how everything looks. We're literally filming this in my, I guess you could call it a warehouse, even though this doesn't look like a warehouse. Everything around me's bait related. We're at my parents' house where I keep all my inventory and everything, where I lived up till last year. So very grateful for them letting me have this entire room. We're in like a 40-foot room, all for me, for my baits and everything. Running a business is pretty messy. I've always been messy, but this allows me to kind of store everything and somehow pack it all in and then pack it all out whenever we head to shows. But we'll get in. So like we talked about, did this all through high school, did it through college, main time, full-time student. This was my after school work job that I did. Never really had a real job. I fished so much. I love to fish. I was like, what, if I can include fishing into my life and have a job, that would be awesome. So this allows me to do this. Graduated in 2020. That was my first step. Okay, we're on our own. Parents, of course, help. I lived with my parents still. Was able to paint down here in my old workroom and everything. So that's when I really kicked up doing as many shows and such as I could every weekend to see what we can make out of the business. Thankfully, I've grown a lot since 2020. Really happy with how everything's gone. Done some work with some other bigger companies, designing some stuff for them. Sure you've seen some. I've talked about on Facebook and such. Like Bagley was the very first one. Actually, right here, just right over here is my paint booth. We moved to this house, and Matt Becker, of course, most of you know who Matt Becker is, now lives in Tennessee, but before he lived 20, 30 minutes away from here. He was with Bagley at the time. Bagley was redesigning all their colors, so they wanted to reach out, talk to a custom painter. He knew I was close. He liked some of the stuff I did for him in the past. We came up with a whole color line for Bagley. They seem to love them. You guys seem to love them. Now they're with different companies since then. They've been bought out, so be interested to see what they do in the future. But happy with how their hard baits look. After Bagley, we did a deal with Guggen. I don't remember how long ago this was, maybe 2022 or so. So starting to realize, okay, maybe this is something I can turn into my full-time living and everything. Which thankfully I've been able to do that since owning your own business. It's every year you're you never know what's going to happen next year. So with everything that's going on, I'm happy we're here. Guggen was great. We painted a lot of baits for them. They actually sold baits that I painted myself, versus when you work with other companies, I'll send them designs for them to replicate in the factory, which they did a really good job with. Everyone I've done with has done a good job replicating everything, which can be a little tricky. In the factories, some factories they airbrush, some factories they print. It's like a Photoshop copy and paste, really, which is I learned with working with a couple companies, which is pretty cool. Like Bagley, I mean, if you look at it, you'd think I painted it, which is at the end of the day what they wanted. So they have that hand painted look. Guggen, I think we did close to 1,000, 2,000 baits somewhere in there. They did a really cool deal with them. Guys really liked them. Gave me some ideas to use in my own business as I work with these companies. I see what works, what doesn't work. That's what helps traveling to shows every week. You learn the business a little bit. So because fishing's fun and everything. We all know how to fish. We all love fishing, but the whole fishing world is just completely different. And I'm thankful to be in it, full-time living and everything. So after we did the deal with Guggen, let's see, we worked with Bass Pro Shops, of course, the king of, bass fishing and the bass fishing world. Everyone's been to Bass Pro Shops in their life. Everyone's bought something from Bass Pro Shops. They've done it the longest. Did their entire color line. I want to say we did 30-some colors for them. The reason they reached out to me was just, I think some of their employees that worked in the upper ends of the company followed me, saw my work and everything. Same kind of deal. They were redesigning all their XPS brand crankbaits and wanted them to have a custom look. And the nice thing about Bass Pro Shops is they're not very expensive whatsoever. Everyone can afford to buy a bait. One of the Bass Pro Shops' own brand bait. They're lower than most of the competitors. So we just finished that up last year. Usually in the summer when I get back from shows is when everything is in work for next year. So that's what we're going to get into and talk about here. We'll get into what you guys see here is the Fulks Bait Club, something new that I've started. I know I've hinted at it online, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Appreciate all you guys who follow me on there and everything. You guys see what happens almost day to day. Same thing we're trying to do here. So wanted to kind of talk about what we're doing. I know everyone has a monthly box anymore, it seems like, but it's all retailers having a monthly box, and lots of times they're just trying to get rid of stuff that just doesn't sell, or stuff they have truckloads of. Completely different here. I want to try to get you some exclusive stuff, stuff you just can't buy anywhere. I just put it on the website as of we got back from shows. I sell like JDM stuff. I have some friends in Japan where I deal with. I sell baits in Japan to tackle stores and such, so they return the favor. I'm able to carry some stuff they just can't find everywhere. I'm going to show you guys in this box kind of that part of it. Some stuff in the box you won't see on the website. It's just because I have so few quantity of it. I did 30 boxes this time. We'll see how fast they sell. Hopefully they sell, but I know a lot of you guys have been asking, and I'm just going to put them on the website. I think that's the easiest way to do it. That way everything goes through the website. I'll get them shipped out before we go fishing, and we'll get into opening these boxes. So we call it the Bait Club. I think that's pretty cool. We're going to probably do it monthly. It's not going to be a subscription because we all know we all subscribe to stuff. Heck, we have Netflix, all that stuff, and every once in a while you don't want it anymore and you forget to cancel it, so then you see that charge and you kind of get mad. So I don't want to be that guy. I know you probably hate when you see that too. So you just go on the website, you buy it. Yeah, I'll ship them out to you, and that way it's easier. There's nothing hidden. I don't like being hidden or anything. So, cool little box. We got the other logo on it, the Fulks Bait Company. We'll get into that after we talk about this. This is my other project for the year, since I'm always working on stuff. So, we'll get into this. This is a box. I literally only have 30, so someone's getting this box. So, sorry if I dig up anything. Open it up. Got some stickers in there. The Fulks Custom Crank sticker. Fulks Bait Company sticker. More to come. Got a little just piece of paper. I read out everything that's on it, what you're getting, value of it, just a thank you note as well. So on top, we got a 110, FC 110 jerkbait. It's a tungsten suspending jerkbait. Take it out of the package. It's been my most popular selling jerkbait over the years. We'll dub in some close-ups of this color in particular, but you can hear the tungsten It's not lead or stainless steel like a lot of companies will use. It's pretty similar to the leading person, I won't say their name, in the jerkbait world. You have those tungsten internals that do have a weight transfer. They do suspend those down, of course. Size 6 BKK hooks on there, which I've used since about 2020, since I had some issues trying to get mustad that year. I've been super happy with these BKKs. Of course, everything I put on these is how I fish these. I wouldn't sell you something I wouldn't use. So if you look at my box, it's pretty much only my brand of jerkbaits anymore. Lake Erie, we put them through the ringer, 100 fish days. You know, you're catching 2-3 pound smallmouth. We all know those smallmouth are pretty pretty mean. So those BKK hooks, I mean, I've been really impressed with them. Black nickel split rings on there, of course, but this one is my color shift shad I've done for some years. We'll put up a cool video. You can see the purple and green color shift. Best thing you could do is, as soon as you get this box in the mail, take this color outside, look at it in natural sunlight. Even in these lights, you can see it shifting. So it's a really cool purple to green color on that. So that dies about 3 to 5 foot. It's been my best-selling jerkbait. You can use it in live scope. You can fish it just regular. Of course, I fished it regular for so many years. So that'll be the first thing you're getting, is that tungsten 110. Next one is a Rapala OG Tiny 4 in Rayburn Red. Rayburn Red. So this is part of my throwback series of baits we did. Painted these late last year for shows, and you know, especially with everyone's hard up on money. I feel it. You know, it's not like running a bait business is anything anything fantastic. You're just making a living at the end of the day. So I know everyone doesn't want to spend $20-$30 on baits, on something you can lose in one cast. So we literally sold these for the retail of the bait. Of course, this is a bait by Rapala. If you go buy this on the shelf, it's $10. You're buying this custom painted for $10. So paint job's free. Paint job's on me. I was able to get a bulk deal on these to give you guys this bait, and I tell you what, the Tiny 4 has been one of my favorite baits this spring on a home lake I fish. It's called Cross Creek. It's 15 minutes from here. If you follow me online, that's where you'll see me fishing for a lot of largemouth early in the year, up till about when Erie turns on. And when Erie turns on, of course, I'll still fish Cross Creek. But when your average smallmouth's like 3 pounds, it's kind of hard to go back to a lake where it's like 4 fish that are 14 inches and bigger a day is good. So, but favorite bait on Cross Creek. Cross Creek's pretty muddy. It's pretty shallow. It's pretty grassy. So you don't want anything that dives super deep. That's why I found this Tiny 4 is perfect. Called the Tiny 4 because it'll dive 4 foot max. Weighs 5/16 of an ounce. You can throw it fine on a bait caster. Honestly, it's not a potato chip bait. I just throw it on like a 6'10", 7 foot, just a lighter crankbait rod. You don't need a deep diving crankbait rod for this, obviously. 12-pound test. I didn't even notice on this one. I numbered these. This one's actually a 100 out of 100. When I painted these, I just numbered how many I did, which is kind of cool. I didn't realize I had the 100th in my hands. So whoever's getting this box is getting the 100th Rayburn Red Tiny 4. Red, of course, it's hard to beat in the spring this time of year. I know down south you guys, the spawn's on right now, so, you know, red may not be as big of a player, but I feel like for most of Tennessee North, it's still pre-spawn for us, so hopefully you guys will like this one. Rayburn Red, of course, has been a very popular color. You have the Excalibur trap, kind of made it famous. Other companies have done it before that, but the Excalibur trap and Rayburn Red is what everyone thinks of, so I wanted to put my spin on that. So it's a Rayburn Red, but with the Fulks touch to it. Get that back in its box. And we'll go on to the next one. We will get into some JDM stuff now. So most of you have got boxes with the same company, same thing, just different package, different applications. Get this right. I believe Numeri is the company. There's a lot of names to this. It's the Numeri Strut Racing Formula / Racing Stick. I believe there's 10 boxes with this scent, and then there's 20 boxes with the chapstick scent. So we'll get into the chapstick first. Chapstick literally looks like chapstick, but it does not taste like chapstick. You wouldn't want to put it on. Those come in 3 colors, pearl, silver, and red. Apply those to a hard bait. You can apply those to a soft bait. That chapstick, you literally just put it on like a chapstick. It's a shrimp scent, same as this one. So this, you know, you can put on hard baits, put on soft baits. This one, about 10 of you guys are getting, 10, 11, somewhere in there. I didn't have enough of those the racing chapsticks things after shows where I sold them. But it's a really cool scent. This is the same formula, it's a squirt bottle application. It's not in that hardened chapstick, so it's better for soft plastics. this way. But I mean, as soon as this thing, the seal's not even off of it, and I don't know if Mason can smell it, but yeah, it doesn't smell good. I guess it smells like shrimp, I guess. Pretty cool scent from Japan. Obviously, everything on both boxes, there's not a word other than the names in English. So, it's just something cool. It's a different scent. It's not your usual Berkeley power bait scent. I'm a believer in scent after I've played around on Erie, honestly. It definitely does help. At the end of the day, if you're not a believer in it, completely get it. I wasn't a believer in scent for years. At the end of the day, at the very least, it's just covering your scent. You're on the water, you put sunscreen on, bug spray, whatever. All that fish can smell. It's an oil. This at least covers that up to where it smells natural. If you're a perfectionist, some people are out there with gloves and all that crazy stuff. But hey, if you want to do that, by all means, please do it. So that's the scent. Another JDM bait is from Keitech, a company most of us know and have bought stuff from. Of course, we all love the Keitech Fat Swing Impact. My favorite's the 3.8 shad, but Keitech has really done a good job with creating a lot of colors. Something similar I like doing. Of course, everyone can have your sexy shad, your red craws, that kind of stuff, but I've always wanted to just be a little different than all those guys. Try to make stuff that looks different than your normal stock colors. I've done that with this companies I've worked with and everything. So Keitech does a pretty good job of making new colors for everyone. So cool thing about this is a bladed jig, of course. It's by Keitech, called the Rum Blade. You're going to get in the boxes, because I sold them through shows. I didn't have all of one color, one size, because I'm not a big store. When I buy stuff to have to offer to you guys, I get 5, 10 at a time of each bait and each color. So it's not like I have a lot on hand of everything. So you're going to get mixed colors, mixed sizes. It's either 3/8, half ounce, or 5/8. We're all pretty much used to those standard bladed jig sizes. It does have a unique blade on it. We'll show you in a close-up video and how it's attached to the head. It's a very cool vibration, and it's a different vibration than your normal jackhammers, regular chatterbaits kind of stuff. So I believe we have a underwater video from Keitech. We'll put this up. So it's a really cool bladed jig. You got a decoy hook on there, which is, of course, a JDM hook. It's a really stout hook as well. Lots of good colors. This one's their spot remover. Not really a color you see on a lot of bladed jigs. There's various colors in there. So just really cool to have that different color option and vibration / sound option with the Keitech Rum Blade. So that's in the box as well. And then we'll get into the last thing in your box. It's the exclusive Bait Club color, we're calling it. This week, or this month, I should say, of course, Rapala is one of my most popular baits that I repaint and sell. DT6, DT8, Shad Wraps, all that good stuff. So, painted DT8s. I figured this is kind of you can use this pre-spawn and you can use it post-spawn. It's in my green tomato color. So what I did is I took my normal tomato crawl, chartreuse side, orange belly, black back with some gold detail just to make it look good. Did that, and I was like, when I painted it, I was like, I just want to see what that looks like with the green back. So a highlight green, we'll put in the picture. You can see it's pretty cool. Highlight green over the whole bait. It kind of blends it all together, kind of softens it. It's really cool. If you look on the bottom as well, it'll say FBC and then a number out of 30. That's Fulks Bait Club out of 30. So this one, you're getting number 4 out of 30. I just number them as I come off the line when I do special run color stuff. If anyone ever wants to collect these or look back 10 years from now, it's cool to have something when you know of the era it came from. So that's a really good bait. Of course, we all love the DT6 when they came out with the DT8 with that same body, but that little bit bigger bill. That's been an awesome bait in their lineup. And then, of course, that color is going to be perfect for all times around the spawn with that little bit bright chartreuse, but it is softened, so it's not super bright, but it's not super dull either. I really like what that green did to this bait to, make it what it is. And this is exclusive to the Bait Club. So I haven't done this exact color on anything else. When you get this, I can paint this color there on out, maybe make it a wig. So if you bought into the Bait Club, if you trusted me on the process, it can be an exclusive color to you guys. If you didn't buy it before, if you buy another box and you get it in, we can make it happen. So I think that's really cool. It's just a hair different from that regular tomato curl, but it's different enough to where I think that color is going to be really good. And I did not paint any more than 30 of these, so I'm going to have to paint some for the personal stash to try out at Cross Creek and then maybe when we head to Erie. So we'll put those all back in for the first month of the bait box, or the Bait Club box, I should say. Put that all in. You get the 2 stickers, of course. They'll be on top. Don't throw those away. throw them in the tackle box or whatever. And then we'll get into Fulks Bait Company, which is a completely other video in itself, going through all the details. We'll kind of just cover it here with the time we have left. Starting a new company. You notice the logo. It's red, white, and blue on the sticker. I did this logo before I finalized it. But the sticker, it says Made in USA. So I wanted to make another company, especially with today and everything, with hard baits made in the USA, which is really tough if you look on the US market. Besides small balsa makers in the U.S., there's really no American-made hard baits anymore. So in 2025, I was like, you know what? I had an opportunity. I bought out the remaining stock from a company. I won't say their name just to not get in trouble, but they make the Baby 1-. They make the Pogo Shad. I was able to buy out 1,000-ish Pogo Shad halves and 4,000-ish Baby 1- halves. So what I've been working on since I got home from shows is putting those baits together. We're going to change the internals. Like I said, we'll talk about this a whole other video. That's 30 minutes in itself, what to talk about with those baits. So we're putting out baits that were molded in the United States years ago, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, have been sitting in a warehouse somewhere for how many years. This past year, I've been thankful enough, since that company went out of business, to buy out some stuff that they left behind and no one wanted. We're turning that into some American-made baits, and I've been really, really happy to do them. It's been a really fun project. Still till today, I haven't produced any to sell. I've just been making sure that everything that goes in internal-wise into them works out. All the hook hangers, the BBs, we're going to use lead like the old Baby 1- and the old Pogo Shads, as well as offer some tungsten stuff. So kind of bringing those old baits into the new age, and of course custom painting them as well. Having those old butyrate baits, another video is talking about butyrate plastic. You can go into that forever, but old baits made out of butyrate, made in America, painted in America, fully American made. Wanted to offer those to you guys. So that is what Fulks Bait Company is. Stay tuned. We're going to get into more about that. The products will be available soon. You know, it's all me. It's all me, and my dad does my clear coating as well, which I'm very thankful for. So I got to put 4,000 bait halves together of Baby 1-. I got to put 1,000 Pogo Shads together, fill them with lead, fill them with tungsten. So it's going to be a process, but looking forward to that journey and talking about it with you guys. So I think that'll wrap up today's video. I don't know, Mason, do you want to add anything?
Thanks for tuning into this show, everybody, and we'll have some more content coming your way as soon as possible. But definitely check out the Fulks Bait Club, the bait boxes. They will be hitting your doorstep as soon as possible. Some really good quality material and baits in there. So definitely be sure to check out the bait boxes. And again, appreciate your time.
Thank you for joining in to the first bait cast. Hopefully is what we're going to stick with the name. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it.